theorysabers.com.
This is unfortunate, and, I really blame this on the Last Jedi effect. You know, how the Solo movie really bombed because everyone was so pissed off with The Last Jedi. The Skeleton Crew is just bombing. Not because it's terrible, like The Acolyte was, but because The Acolyte was so bad, it really turned off so many people.
They're going to meme the shit out of that.
And what Disney is doing, and they don't understand this, and I hope they will start to catch on quick before it's too late, which it might be, is that each time that they break a show or a movie and just destroy the lore and alienate so much of the fandom, and then have those people that they hire, either the writers or the directors or whoever, or the actors, calling us racist and bigots and sexist and homophobic if we don't like the show or the movie, it really, really segregates, alienates, and deletes a huge section of the loyal fandom that really was there with George Lucas Star Wars and that made this company worth $4 billion to begin with. And this is the result. Fans no longer care about Star Wars. Skeleton Crew suffers worst ratings on Disney+. This is unfortunate. The Skeleton Crew is also the first Star Wars show to not have its premiere make the Nielsen ratings, which are automatically turned on in your Disney Plus accounts. Samba TV has also again refused to publish numbers. Samba TV hasn't published ratings for a majority of the recent Star Wars or Marvel shows, likely at the request of Disney, who is an investor in the company, as obviously the ratings are in the gutter. Particularly alarming is that Skeleton Crew premiered its first 2 episodes on the same night, yet still failed to appear in the Nielsen ratings despite having an entire week to qualify. Not good news at all. But, first of all, what do you expect? It's the Skeleton Crew. And I like the Skeleton Crew. I've openly stated I like the Skeleton Crew. It's not bad. I don't understand anyone who says they don't like this show. This is literally like a fun little kid's show. If you were ever a kid and you liked shit like this, adventure and all that, man, I don't see a problem with it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a good time. It's not Mando Season 2. It's not Mando Season 1. But it's a Goonies-inspired kids show with a touch of Star Wars elements in there. So for what it is, it's okay. It's like Page Master meets Goonies meets Star Wars meets a little bit of Indiana Jones. And the fact that the ratings don't even touch the scale, it's not good news. And, I attribute it to 2 things here. The fact that it is literally just a kids show with Star Wars elements inside of it, and no one really cares all that much for it, to be honest. But the second one being The Acolyte, that really was the last project that came out which destroyed and alienated so many people in the fandom.
Fuck off! That is not play just watching that shit.
The Acolyte being absolute shit garbage show that it was, written by Leslie Headland, is one thing. But then the actors and the writers and directors, Amanda Stenberg, Leslie Headland herself, going on and insinuating that people who don't like the show are racist and sexist and alt-right. Now you have actual anger. Now you have actual resentment. Now you have people actually being vindictive in the sense that they will not support anything else Star Wars. Some people are long gone. Some people, you lost them after The Last Jedi. Some people, you lost them with just saying the EU is now Legends. It doesn't exist. It's not even Legends. It doesn't even exist. But I think, if The Acolyte wasn't the nail, if The Last Jedi wasn't the nail in the coffin, and the Kenobi show and Mando Season 3 and whatever else which was horrible, wasn't the nail in the coffin, The Acolyte set it on fire. The people behind the show, the officials, Amanda and this and that, coming out and saying all that bullshit about us being racist and bigots and alt-right if we didn't like it, and we're not ready for a female-run show, which is such bullshit. That was literally like, let's just put the nail in the coffin, let's set it on fire, let's explode it, let's take all of the pieces, and let's ship it off into space, and just blast that shit far away. The bottom spot on Nielsen's streaming originals list belongs to The Great British Baking Show, with 382 million minutes viewed. Since Skeleton Crew didn't make the list, its total viewership was below 382 million minutes, meaning the average per episode was under 191 million minutes. The Acolyte premiered with its first 2 episodes with 488 million minutes, averaging 244 million per episode for those first 2, and then it dwindled down and became the worst rated show, the worst watched show on Star Wars for Disney+. Andor premiered with its first 3 episodes and made the list with 624 million minutes, averaging 208 million minutes per episode. Again, the 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew lower than 191, falling short of both the Acolyte and Andor. Now, I'm going to come out with a video which is going to actually reveal my analytics for the channel, and we're going to break down what these minutes actually mean in terms of viewership. Yeah, I've done billions worth of minutes watched, and we'll get into that and what that actually means per viewership. How many millions, tens of millions of views that actually is. You know, because this is like 244 million minutes per episode. It's a big number, but it's not actually, I can break it down. The 244 million, judging by my own analytics, is roughly about 30 million. There's 30 million views, typically. But we're going to get into that in another video, so you stay tuned for that. To get it out there, really what all this minutes of views, hundreds of millions of minutes of views really means in terms of viewership. It's not nearly as big as this 100 million minute shit. Amanda Stenberg blames fans for the Acolyte cancellation. And yet, like, this is really what was a huge detriment to them. First of all, they need to hire people that are more sane, more tolerant of other people's opinions, and not children who will call you out for being a racist if you simply don't like a space show, science fiction show. This speaks a lot about, you know, if you're hiring these kinds of people, what does that really mean about you as the person hiring? And what does it mean about you if you let these kind of people get out of line like that and destroy your brand? So what happened? Why didn't fans tune in to watch The Skeleton Crew? It's from Spider-Man director John Watts, so you'd think it would be at least decent, right? The answer seems clear. Fans just aren't interested after Disney's handling of the Star Wars sequel trilogy and Disney Plus shows like The Acolyte, Book of Boba Fett, Mando Season 3. It seems many fans have simply stopped caring about Star Wars. Divided fan base isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some fans love it, others hate it. Okay, sounds like Ryan Johnson. But even the haters will still watch. Not really. The real problem arises when fans stop caring. When that happens, they stop watching. And just as crucially, they stop spending their money. Fans are tired of the BS from the actors, the studios, and the shows. Reports the Acolyte killed Star Wars seem true. A report said that due to the failure of The Acolyte, that Disney is pulling back on Star Wars content on Disney Plus and only releasing 1 series a year going forwards. Currently, only Ahsoka Season 2 is in the works, but that too now is rumored possibly to be the end with its 2nd season. Andor Season 2 premieres April 22nd, 2025, and that will be its last. So following The Acolyte, it does seem as if Star Wars is dead on Disney Plus. Damn, this is not good, bro. And, you know, they're making a mad mistake here because, seriously, it's not the fact that Star Wars is dead, it's the fact that they don't understand Star Wars. And the issue here isn't that no one cares about Star Wars, the issue is that no one cares about Disney Star Wars. And for them to start caring about Star Wars again, you need to go back to the truth of it all, which is the George Lucas version, George Lucas Star Wars, where we're focused on the hero, where we're focused on the hero's journey, the perils, the rise, the falls, the strength, the weakness, and the overall journey that the hero has to take and make in order to become the hero from being the zero. I truly feel that Star Wars will never be dead as long as it's done right, but it has to be done really right. And for them to do that, they have to take their heads out of their ass. They have to stop having so many, and I don't mean to be funny or disrespectful, but look, Star Wars is a really sacred thing to a lot of people. And we need to start really focusing on how important this thing is. A lot of people's jobs are on the line here at Lucasfilm and at Disney, and they want to make money, and we want to get good content. We want to see good Star Wars. We want to feel that inspiration and hope again. And we're not feeling that right now. So when they're releasing stuff like The Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2, I feel like that's exactly what fans want. We have been wanting stuff like that for a long time, and I feel like it's very George Lucas Star Wars, and you can see it by the ratings. It did very well. All the Mando merchandise, everything does really well. But when you get stuff like the Book of Boba Fett, which a beloved character that they destroyed, it even shows that a character that we all love and wanted to see, when the writing isn't on par with who the character is, whether it be in canon or in Legends, EU, which now apparently doesn't matter, it still won't hit, and people won't care for it, and that'll dwindle some of the fan base. When you do stuff like what you did to Luke Skywalker, which is blasphemous, horrible, it dwindles a massive amount of the fandom. You're kind of doing the Indiana Jones movement, where you take the sacred, golden, important, valuable piece of the fandom who really support this product and pay for all of the merchandise and the toys and this and that. You take them out and you replace them with Fugazi. You replace them with a bag of sand.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Numbers-wise, you think you won't see a difference, but when it comes to actually dying for this brand, purchasing the toys, purchasing the products, going to the movies, watching the shows, you're going to start to see a decline. But they're loud on social media because they're pandering towards political agendas and this and that and bullshit and seeming like they're really great people. But they're not. They're intolerant. They're fake. And they won't stand for your product, Disney. I'm telling you. They will not. And they're not. And look at this. They preach all this positivity and bullshit. But they didn't watch. There weren't enough people for the Acolyte. There aren't any of those people watching the Skeleton Crew. I'm watching the Skeleton Crew. You have to understand that this could be a dead brand if you do not change your tune. Stop trying to pander to political bullshit. Tell a good story. George Lucas, Star Wars. Go back, think, how did he make this? What was his thought process? What was his perception? What was his view? He was just trying to tell a cool story, something that resonated within him. Stop getting these activists to write these movies and these shows. Start to get level-headed people that take politics and their own psychological issues out of it, and they just tell a story, something that inspires people, that isn't predicated on whether you're gay or straight or black or white. It's based on if you're a good person or not. If you're someone who can work hard and fail and pick yourself back up and try again and train and get better and win, that's what inspires, not this bullshit. And if you don't like it, then you're racist and this. Take a hike. Get real. I think they have a lot to learn, and until they do, they're going to continue to see declining numbers, and it's unfortunate, but they really need to start seeing, what they're doing to the brand. That's what I have to say about it. Stay tuned for that video that I have coming out that's going to be divulging in the numbers and what these hundreds of millions of watch time hours mean in terms of views, at least in terms of YouTube views. So let me know what you guys think about nobody watching the Skeleton Crew except for us doing the watch party. And, what these poor projects have done, like Boba and Obi-Wan and ACOLYTE have done to the fandom as a whole. Because clearly the numbers speak for themselves. The facts are in plain sight, and they're not good. I mean, the numbers aren't even on the board. They're not even showing on the freaking board for the viewership. That's not good. It's not even ranking. Change needs to happen. Otherwise, the brand is just going to keep going down. And they keep thinking that, if, we have to pull back on Star Wars. No, you don't got to pull back. You got to make a good product. That's all it is. You could release 10 Star Wars products a year, and if they're all bangers, you're going to see numbers like you've never seen before. And you're probably going to forget about Marvel and every other IP that you have. Because Star Wars, truly, if you know how to do it right and hit it right, astronomical growth on all levels. Merch, toys, all this shit. Movies, shows, viewership, everything. It's only dependent on the stories that you write and the people that you hire and the vision that you have. And if you're going to stay true to George Lucas Star Wars or not, that's really it. So less pandering to bullshit, less comments about if you don't like it, you're racist and this garbage, and more creativity, more inspiring people, more Jedi, more Force powers, more Sith, more lightsabers. That's all it is. More bounty hunters, more heroism. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always.